Let us understand some concepts of service mesh. A service mesh is an infrastructure layer used to manage service to service traffic through capabilities provided by set of sidecar proxies. It is a mouthful, but don't worry. Let us see. This is one service and this is another service. Create a proxy for this service and a proxy for this service. Let these two proxies communicate rather than this directly services communication. And this communication, put it in the infrastructure layer rather than the application layer. So let the infrastructure handle this communication through these proxies. And to provide this facility, the software we use is called service mesh. So let's read it again. Service mesh is an infrastructure layer used to manage service to service traffic through the capabilities provided by a set of sidecar proxies. It solves the traffic management challenges of microservices applications and manages service communication, like service A communicating with service B. Let's take this example. A was expecting a response from service B through an API call. Suppose A is calling B and then it is expecting a response back through an API call. The service B may be down, it can be down, or maybe facing a heavy load, or there can be a network failure that this two connectivity is missing. So an immediate response was not sent back to service A. So what happened? A is calling B, but B has not responded. Maybe B is down, maybe the network is not there, maybe the B is experiencing a lot of traffic. Now how to handle this? Let us see a basic way of handling it. We can write a logic in service A to try calling the API of service B in a loop for 3 times. I can create a loop here and then try 3 times calling it, and if it is not calling for 3 times, then we can throw an exception. And we can also add a delay of 2 seconds between each of the calls. So this we can write it in a while loop or a for loop for this code. What we are trying to do is manage this failure in code, right? This is one option. The second option is we can use a library. We can use some library. Say we are using Spring framework. We can create a annotation like retryable. We can put the exception class and then delay of 2000. We can declare these annotations in the Spring framework in this Java class, and then we will try to make the network call. Okay, so this is the second way of doing it. Instead of writing code, we write the annotations. Now, the third way of doing it is using service mesh. We can declaratively define the logic. So this is important. We can declaratively define the logic. We don't have to say how to do it. We can only define what do we want. And this is part outside the application code. So since it is outside the application code, it is easier to maintain, right? It is not tied with the language of the application we are trying to use. Add this configuration related retry in a mesh, and the service proxy will automatically retry when the request fails according to this configuration. Let's see a basic one. So this is the route. We provide a destination and host is the upstream service. Route that requires the upstream service, and retry equal to 3 times with a timeout of 2 seconds per retry. So we can give attempts 3 and per try timeout 2 seconds. So this is how we declare what we want, like wait 2 seconds, call 3 times to the service in a declarative way. So this is possible when we use service mesh. In service mesh, we do this configuration in a declarative way instead of writing the code or the logic or depending upon some third-party library. So here is important. A cloud native technology provide non-functional requirements to the infrastructure and let the application focus on the business logic. This is why we all want to go into microservices where the non-functional requirements are handled by the infrastructure layer rather than the application code or application logic. This is the advantage that we get when we move to microservices in a cloud native world.